watching Thrifty Kaniffy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a RoseCraft Blades knife. This is the Savage Creek Barlow in gray. And it's got the gray smoky bone style handles on it. Now I've already reviewed this knife with the bourbon bone handles, but we're going to be taking a look again at this knife. I just think it's such a fantastic knife. It's worth taking another look at. But before I get into the review, I want to talk about a few things. We've got a fan mail letter sent to me from Frank Olivo, so thank you, Frank, for the nice little message. And he sent along this photo of a display that he made. This is a handmade display with an old window. So he's just taken an old window and then added some flashing for the shelves and created a really beautiful display here. There's quite a number of knives in there that I recognize. One in particular that we're going to be talking about and just showed you is the RoseCraft Blades Savage Creek Barlow. So really cool, Frank. I really appreciate you sending that along, and I appreciate the message. Frank's been a fantastic supporter of the channel. I'm going to give a shout out also to Mikey Newman over at Baldy's Blades. He just sent along these stickers. So thank you, Mikey, for sending those along. Make sure you go and check his channel. He's began doing long form videos now, and I'm enamored with the way that he does his videos. Really appreciate his sort of nonchalant style, not too serious, and doesn't take things too seriously at all, and just gives a real straight to the point, type of review on the knives that he's got there. But he's been on with the Slippy and Thrifty show several times in the last few months, and so I want to thank Mikey for coming on the show. But make sure you go and check out his channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, one other thing, some sort of misinformation has been spread about the channel, and I kind of want to clear that up. I've continually been grouped in and lumped in as being some sort of RoseCraft ambassador, and that has kind of propagated throughout the community, and I want to set the record straight that I am not an ambassador. I pay for every RoseCraft knife that I've ever bought. This particular receipt is for the one you're going to see here today. RoseCraft Blades, Beaver Creek Barlow, Smokey Gray, RCT006-GY. Now, I don't think anybody really wants to see receipts on reviews, so I'm not going to continue to show them, but I do want to clear up the misinformation that's being spread about my somehow association with RoseCraft Blades. I just like their knives. I give honest reviews about their product, but I do pay for them. And you can see, while I did get the big red EDC discount, anyone can use that. Just simply apply that at checkout, and you too receive 10% off your purchase. So simple as that, guys. It really is as simple as that. But we're going to be taking a look at this RoseCraft Blades Barlow here. A little bit of finger magnet here on the bolster. It's a little bit of a mirror finish. Got the etching of the interlocking RC on there for RoseCraft. Of course, the integral style bolsters. These are stainless. And then you got the nice pin design here. There's no brass on the knife. I would prefer that. I love the contrasted color of the brass to the stainless spring, but we don't have that on these. They are more modern manufactured styled, and I don't think there's any doubt about that. Anybody who's been paying attention and has looked at photos on their site prior to buying their knives is not going to be deceived. But we have beautiful gray bone handles on here. You can see the transition in the dyeing there. I love how they've done that. Looks very much like you'd expect, sort of a grayish and then more darkish grayish areas on the handle here. And then on the back, you get more of the same. I think they've done a great job of matching the handle material side to side. But you can see just the lighter areas start to reveal the real grain in the bone there. So just really wonderfully done. Of course, you have just some ever so ridiculously minor gapping in that spot there. That's about the only thing that I can see that's even remotely it's not even worth mentioning, really. Great blade centering there, right down the pipe. And you get a nice thick blade stock on the top there, swedging on the blade. Let's take a look at the measure of the handle. So this particular Barlow, you get 3.5 inches. So that's right in that sort of standard size Barlow. 3 3/8, kind of the smaller of the beginning of the Barlow range. And then when you get up to about 4 inches, you start to call those a Daddy Barlow or a Granddaddy Barlow. But this would just be your standard. Of course, we got the nice sheepsfoot blade on this one. And you can see the nice swedging on there. The half moon design for the nail nick. Flat grind, you can see the grind lines there, the vertical grind lines on the blade. And a beautiful grind on the edge there. Maybe just a little heavy in the middle. Kind of tough to see. There we go. A little better look at it. Pretty darn good. And then if we look at this side, pretty much more of the same. I'd say that's pretty even on both sides. Of course, this one has the RoseCraft blades tang stamp. It does have a half stop on the sheepsfoot blade there. But again, the flat grind on that, you can see there's nothing curved on there at all. So pretty slicey, and these come really sharp. Let's take a look at the other side. And of course, again, the RoseCraft stamp on this side. On this side of the blade, you have the blade etch. See if we can get a good look at that. There we go. D2 steel, RCT006-GY. And then Andy Armstrong's little maker's mark there. So pretty cool little design. And these do come out of the box really, really sharp. Feeling around the knife, don't have any edginess along the liners. That can sometimes be a problem. Not with this particular one. I'm not really feeling anything like that. Hafted really well. Smooth around the edges. Good transitions from the bolster to the handle material, and the pins are nice and smooth. Of course, that blade etch. I've always would have preferred that it be a stamp. And he's talked a little bit about that when he was on the Slippy and Thrifty show. And has said that, you know, that would be his preference too. And maybe at some point we will see that. That is something he is aware of. But yeah, for now, I guess we just get the etch on these bolsters. But good pull on the blade. I'd say right about 6.5 to 7. Good confident use on the lockup. It's not really going anywhere. Blade length is 2 3/4 inches. And then you got a cutting edge just shy of 2.5. Good firm pull on it. Not too hard or too soft. Kind of right in that sweet spot. Medium-sized hand. And I'm getting all 4 fingers on there with just a touch left over. Of course, this is sort of the natural position for my hand here. The thumb resting on the blade, but with my pointer finger underneath the choil, so that really kind of prevents it from wanting to go anywhere. But I think this would be a really nice smaller work knife, and Barlow's have always kind of been a, what do you call it, just sort of more of a common man's knife, you know, more of a blue collar style traditional pattern. Always meant more for someone in the trades, you know, that has to callous their hands for a living, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that always kind of appealed to me as just being a working man's knife. So there you have that. That's sort of the overview of this particular one. And like I said before, this particular model it barely differs. Just had the orange bone handle here, and before they started using the stamped tang there, they had the older etched RCB logo on there, but otherwise pretty much the same. So D2 stain or semi stainless steel, pretty good blade material for an everyday carry. Is it going to be as great as some of these super steels out there on the modern knives? No, it's not. But that's not really something that, at least from a traditional knife lover's perspective, that you would necessarily even want. Nice and easy to sharpen. It's a good blend of blade integrity along with the ease of sharpness, and you won't need to sharpen this every day, and it will last you a good long while. But at the same time, you know, when it is time to sharpen, it's not going to be a massive deal to do so. We can do a little cutting test here. Had some requests lately about wanting to see how they cut, and the RoseCraft blades always seem to come very, very sharp right out of the box. So I think that is a definite plus for this particular knife. Again, nice half stop. So that's another little protective feature. It's not going to come down on you all the way. And again, I think with the way you would hold this knife, that's going to prevent that blade from going anywhere. But another really great design from Andy Armstrong. Really like this new handle material. I hope they continue to use it on some other traditional knives. They have used this in other patterns already, and it's good to see that they're continuing to use it on some of the patterns that I've actually purchased. So really nice to see a little bit of an alternative to the orange. So that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. Oh, and yes, one other thing before we go. My great partner here, Matt Sawyer, at Slip Joint Sawyer, has reached the 5K mark. So I want to acknowledge him for all his hard work. He's put out so many videos and a lot of great material, particularly his Swiss Army knife material. I think it's really top notch. I don't know anybody that does it better. So thank you, Matt, for being such a great friend and being my co-host on the Slippy and Thrifty show on Sundays at 10:30. Make sure you're checking that out if you aren't already. But if you aren't subscribed, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't be, make sure you go over and check out Matt's channel and make sure you click that subscribe button. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you appreciated it. We really do like these Barlows becoming, you know, one of those top 3 patterns for me. So continue to see more and more of these Barlows. You probably have seen that I've done quite a few of those Barlow reviews lately, and there's more to come. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you appreciated it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll see you next time. Take care.